The Major League Baseball trade deadline has now come and gone, and the Blue Jays have added 3 arms to their pitching staff and a veteran first baseman as they make their run to the playoffs. The question of the day, will it be enough? To help explore that question and so much more, play-by-play voice of the Jays, Ben Shulman, thank you for coming back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, if you were to grade Ross Atkins on these moves, and you're a teacher here, you give him a grade of what?
I think right now I have to say it's an incomplete grade. And I know that sounds a bit like a cop-out, but it's so hard to know because they've traded away young players exactly how much they've given up at this point. They may have given up someone who will never make the big leagues. Cal Steven, one of the prospects they gave up, might be the best pitcher in baseball in 5 years. You just don't know. So I think in terms of addressing what the team needed this year, I think they pretty much got everything done that they set out to do. They got a couple bullpen arms that are very, very helpful in Varland and in Dominguez. I think a lot of people thought they took a really interesting move there to get Shane Bieber. Not a lot of the big starting pitchers ended up being moved, so they took a risk, but I think that it's one that could make them a lot better. And then Ty France adds some experience to their lineup as well. So I think that they made some sneakier moves, but some ones that really helped complete the roster.
Okay, so incomplete grade for now, but it could be an A+ in the name of Shane Bieber, and people are familiar, you know, former Cy Young, but he's coming off of Tommy John surgery, so he hasn't played in the majors yet. He's been rehabbing. This could be great if it all works out.
For sure. It's a big risk, and I think they've acknowledged that. Ross Atkins had a press conference after the deadline, and they acknowledged the risk in it. He hasn't really pitched much at all in the last 2 years. He went out early last year. He's been working his way back. If it works out and he's healthy and he looks like Shane Bieber, you have one of the best starters in baseball, probably ready to start game 1 in the playoffs. There's a world where it doesn't work out. There's a world where it kind of works and he returns to them next year because he has an option in his contract where he can decide to come back or not. So there's a lot of question marks. That contributes to the incomplete grade too. The range of how Shane Bieber's Blue Jays career could go is really wide, but I think the team has a higher ceiling having Shane Bieber on their roster for sure.
Okay, now a lot of Jays fans, you're seeing a packed Rogers Center. There are people, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. They were on a crazy run, kind of a sloppier series in Baltimore. That's okay, they're back home. How are you feeling? How do you think the team is feeling moving forward for the remainder of the season?
I think they're feeling good. You know, they had that tough series, but I think they were very happy to escape with at least a win, and it was a long stretch, 14 games in 13 days. They won more than they lost on it after all, so I think they're pretty happy overall. The Yankees are coming. I think they know that. The Yankees are only 3.5 back, I believe, in terms of starting play on Monday. So it's going to be, or on Friday, I should say, it's going to be a tight race, but I think they now know who's on the roster, who isn't, how the team's going to look going forward, and how their opponents stack up. And I still think the Blue Jays are very, very confident that they are the best team in the American League East and that they're a team that can take a division title and go further in the playoffs as well.
Was there anything that you saw in the latest series that kind of gave you some pause where you're like, that felt a bit off?
I mean, they had some tough pitching performances, and some of that was addressed in some of their moves. They ended up, getting a couple extra guys. Some of the guys who pitched poorly on the road trip in general are no longer on the roster. But you do have to remember, too, that they have really experienced starters, which is good, but they've thrown a lot of innings, and a lot of them are in their mid-30s, and it's getting to August, and it's really hot, and your body's probably banged up, and we've seen some ups and downs. So I think part of probably the Blue Jays getting some relievers in and getting a guy like Shane Bieber is trying to take some stress off of some of their older pitchers, keep them fresher, and hopefully they're feeling in a good spot come playoff time when everything really matters.
All right, as always, appreciate it, Ben. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Go Jays.
Go Jays.